Hi, second grade. Today we're going to read a story called The Legend of the Poinsettia. It's a story that's going to help us understand a little bit more about Las Posadas, which is a holiday that they celebrate in Mexico. So the title of the story is The Legend of the Poinsettia. It is the author and the illustrator is Tomie dePaola. He's the author and the illustrator, which means he wrote the story and he drew the pictures. So let's read a little bit more about the legend of the poinsettia. Lucida lived in a small village high up in the mountains in Mexico. With her mama, her papa, her younger brother and sister, Paco and Lupe. Papa worked in the fields with their burro, Pepito, and every morning Lucida fed Pepito, gave him fresh water, and filled his stall with clean straw. So there's Lupita, her dad, and her burro, her donkey. At home, Lucida helped Mama clean their casita, their little house, and pat out the tortillas for their meals. She took care of Paco and Lupe, and each evening they went to the shrine of the Virgen de Guadalupe near the front gate to see if there were fresh candles that were needed. But not every day was work. On Sundays, the family went to San Gabriel in the square where Padre Alvarez said the Mass. And although throughout the year, there were fiestas and holidays which always began with a procession that wounded through the village and ended up all the way in San Gabriel. So here's the church. They're going to do a procession every year. It's kind of like a parade. One day, close to Christmas, La Navidad, Padre Alvarez came to their casita. Ah, Señora Martínez, buenos días. Good day, Padre Alvarez said. I am here to ask you about the blanket which covers the figure of baby Jesus in the Christmas procession. We have used the same one for so many years that it's almost worn out. And because your weaving is so fine and so beautiful, I have come to ask if you would make a new one. Mi padre, Lucida's mother said. I would be honored, and Lucida will help me. They're going to make a blanket for the procession. On Saturday, Lucida and Mama went to the market to buy wool for the blanket. They chose the finest yarn that they could find. At home, Lucida helped Mama dye the wool the colors of the rainbow. These colors will shine throughout the church, Papa said as he watched Lucida and Mama string the yarn around the loom. As Christmas drew closer, everyone in the village was so busy. All of the mamas were making gifts to put under the manger of the baby Jesus in the church. The papas worked very hard together to put up the manger scene in the church of San Gabriel. Lucida and the other children went to church for singing practice for the Christmas Eve procession, when everyone would walk to San Gabriel singing and carrying candles. Once inside, Padre Alvarez would lay the figure of baby Jesus in the manger, and all of the villagers would go up and place their gifts around it. Our gift will be the blanket for baby Jesus, Lucida told her friends, and I am helping Mama to weave it. So they're getting everything ready for Christmas and Las Posadas. One afternoon, a few days before Christmas Eve, Lucida and the children were singing in the church when all of a sudden, Señora Gomez came hurrying in. Lucida, you must come home. Your mama is sick and your papa has taken her to the town to see a doctor. You must take care of your brother and sister until your papa return home tonight. Lucida was so afraid. Her mama had never been sick before. When she got home, Paco and Lupe were crying. They were scared too. Lucida tried to comfort them. She made them some food, and she sat down to wait for Papa. That evening, Papa came home looking tired and worried. He drew Lucida close and he said, Lucida, mi niña, my girl, your mom is still sick. Your aunt, Tia Carmen, she's gonna take care of Mama until she feels better. But I have to go stay with Mama in the hospital until I can bring her home. But she won't be home before Christmas. She'll be home after Christmas. Señora Gomez will take care of you and Paco and Lupe while I'm gone. She will come pick you guys up tomorrow. The next afternoon, Lucida overheard two women talking. Lucida's mom is still very sick. She won't be able to finish the blanket for the procession. Isn't that a shame? Sí, the other woman said. We are all so disappointed. Padre Alvarez will have to use the old, worn-out blanket. When Lucida went home to feed Pepito and to get clothes for Paco and Lupe, and for herself, she looked at the unfinished blanket on the loom. Maybe I can finish it, she thought. But when she sat down and tried to weave, the yarn got all tangled. The more she tried to untangle it, the worse it got. It was no use. She could never finish it all by herself. She took the unfinished blanket to Señora Gomez. Oh, Lucida, it is so tangled. There is no time for me to fix it, Señora Gomez told her. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Lucida started to cry. It was her fault that the blanket was ruined. Her family wouldn't have a gift to put by the manger of baby Jesus. Don't worry, Lucida, we will all go to the procession together. Lucida didn't say anything, but in her heart, she felt like she had ruined Christmas. Come, Paco, come, Lupe. It's time to go to the procession. Remember, the procession is the parade. It's when they're all walking in a line. It's time to go to the procession, Señora Gomez said on Christmas Eve. Where is Lucida? She was nowhere to be found. Lucida was hiding. From the shadows, Lucida watched everyone gather for the procession. Candles were lit, and the singing began. The villagers started walking to the San Gabriel church, carrying presents to put under the manger. Lucida walked along in the darkness, and she watched the procession as they all went into the church, followed by Padre Alvarez, who was carrying baby Jesus. So they're all marching all around in a big parade. They went all over the city, and they're all going all the way to the church. Little girl, are you Lucida? An old woman stood in the near shadows nearby. Sí, Lucida said, wondering who she was. I have a message for you, said the old woman. Your mama is going to be fine, and your papa will bring her home soon, so you don't have to worry. Now go into the church and celebrate Christmas with the others. Paco and Lupe are waiting for you. I can't, Lucida told her. I don't have a gift for the baby Jesus. Mama and I were making a beautiful blanket, but I couldn't finish it. I tried and I only got it all tangled up. Ah, Lucida, any gift is beautiful because it is given, the old woman told her. Whatever you give and whatever you get, the baby Jesus will love because it comes from you. But what can I give now? Lucida asked as she looked all around. A patch of tall trees and tall green weeds grew on a tangle nearby. Lucida rushed over and she picked up an armful. Do you think these leaves will be all right? Lucida turned to the old woman, but she was gone. Lucida walked into the church. It was blazing and beautiful with candlelight, and the children were singing, and she walked quietly down the aisle with a bundle of green weeds and leaves in her arms. "What is Lucida carrying?" a woman wondered and whispered. "Why is she bringing weeds and leaves into the church?" Another one muttered. Lucida reached the manger scene, and she placed the green weeds and leaves all around the stable. Then she lowered her head and she prayed. A hush fell all around the church. Voices began to whisper, "Oh my God, look at the leaves." Lucida opened her eyes and looked up. Every single leaf and weed was tipped like a flaming red star. The manger was glowing and it shimmered as if it was lit by 100 candles. Look at the leaves. They turned into beautiful red flowers. While everyone was outside after the Mass, all of the clumps of tall green leaves and weeds all throughout town were shining with red stars. Lucida's simple gift had indeed become beautiful. And every day, to this day, still in real life, the red stars shine on the top of all the green branches in Mexico. And the people call these plants La Flor de la Nochebuena, the flower of the holy night, the poinsettia. Have you guys seen these flowers anywhere? They're red and we usually see them around Christmas time. They're called poinsettia flowers. So this is the wildflower, it's the poinsettia flower, and they call it the Flor de Navidad, the flower of Christmas. And so this story helps teach us a little bit about how the poinsettia came to be, and it helps us understand a little bit more about how Las Posadas is celebrated. So there's a big parade, there's a big procession, a parade all around town, and then everyone goes inside of the church and starts singing and bringing gifts, and it's super duper beautiful. And so today we read about a story and we learned a little bit more about Lucida, who celebrated Las Posadas even though her mama was sick. She still was able to bring a present, and the present that she thought was just a bunch of leaves ended up becoming a very, very beautiful present for baby Jesus.